Hi, welcome to Python series 3. In this video, let us discuss briefly about the assignment operator and values and data types. Before going to the concepts, let me introduce some of the terms which is used in the data types and values. So let us see what is meant by operator. Operator is nothing but first let us see about the operation. Operation. What is meant by operation? It is a combination of the operator and operand to make a operation. Let's see. To perform an operation, we require the operand and also operator. What is meant by operation? It is a combination of the operator and the operand. So, what is meant by operand here? Operand is nothing but a variable which stores the value or a direct value. It is called as an operand. Operand is nothing but a variable which stores a value or either a direct value. It is called as an operand. And what is meant by operator? Let us see now. Operator is a symbol. It is a symbol to perform an operation. By combining two or more operand values, by using the operator, we perform an operation. So it is called as an operation. Operation is nothing. It is a combination of the operator and the operands. When we use more than one operands, we need an operator to perform an operation. This is the definition of the operation. So, in the previous video, we have already discussed what is meant by variable. Variable is nothing but a container which stores a value. It is like a container actually to store a value in the memory. So, let us take an example. Capital A, or we can include small a, or we can also start with the underscore. But you must start only with these three characters, and you can give any other characters here. But you must start either with a uppercase letter or a lowercase letter or an underscore. In variable, we can also use a digit, but not at the first character, but in the second character or in any other index, you can use the digit. But you can't use the keywords. What is meant by keywords? Keywords are predefined values which has a special meaning in the Python, which has a special meaning, performs some functions. Examples for keywords are such as if, else, elif, any of these, and also except, pass, for loop, or while loop. All these comes under the keywords. So you actually cannot use the keywords. So what to know? Then how to know what are the keywords and what are not the keywords? By using the help function. You can print this in the output, help of keywords. When you print this in the output, you actually get all the keywords. So you cannot use any of these keywords as a variable to store a value. So we have seen this in the previous class. So this is the recap of this previous class, and let us now discuss about the value now. Now let us discuss about the operator. Operator is nothing but a symbol which is used to perform an operation. Symbols are nothing like any type of symbols, like we have many types, such as in this first video we discuss about the assignment operator. Assignment operator. what is the use of assignment operator in Python or any other language? Assignment operator is actually used to assign a value to the variable. So now let us see what is operator. Here we already discussed operator is nothing but a symbol, but how the assignment operator is actually represented. It is represented with the equal to symbol. This is called as a equal to symbol. No? So this is called as an assignment operator in Python. So we have already discussed the variables. So like this we can discuss or assigning value to the variable. This is a variable and here the value can be given. Value is nothing but any kind of data or the information we store in the variable and it is a value. So this is called as an assignment operator. So whenever you use this syntax or this structure, the value gets assigned to the variable like this. So you have taken a equals to value. Now the value which you have given is stored in the variable a by using the assignment operator. So what actually happens is when you use the assignment operator, the value is stored in a variable in the memory. This is the purpose of using the assignment operator. So simple assignment operator is nothing but a symbol which is used to assign a value to the variable. Now let us discuss about the definition of function and its predefined types. So what is meant by functions? Let us see now. Actually, I will give the short definition of function and briefly discuss about the concepts of functions in the upcoming classes. So what is the definition of functions? Why we use it? Actually, functions is nothing but a block of code which is used to perform a particular task. The functions means how we declare the functions or how we define the functions by using this syntax. By def is a keyword and you can give here the function name, any function name, indentation symbol, and it is the space or for a dash space, and here you can give the block of code. Block of code is nothing but the code you can write here inside a function. It is the name of the function which you can able to give, and you must give the round braces here and the indentation symbol. So this is how you define or declare a function. This is the syntax to define a function. So what is the purpose of using a function? Function is used to perform a particular task or a particular work. Whenever we call this function, whatever the code which is written inside a block is going to be executed and run. So the particular task is going to be performed. So how do we actually run or call a function? By calling its function name. So this is the function name. So how do we call it? We call it by using the name of the function. So whenever you give the name of the function and the round braces here, the function gets called, and whenever the function gets called and whatever the code which you have written in the block of code is going to be executed and performed a particular task. So in this way the concepts of functions is developed. And now let us discuss about the predefined functions. Predefined functions. What is meant by predefined functions? Similar, in the same way, we have customized our function name, but in Python there are some functions which are actually predefined or pre-declared. Predefined or pre-declared, are also called as inbuilt functions. So here we are able to perform some repeated tasks, means repeated works we use in Python, such as printing or checking the type of the data. As many same in the same way, we have many particular tasks to do this. In the you have many pre-declared functions or predefined functions. So whenever you call these functions, the functions get called, and what is the code written in the block of code is going to be executed, and the performed task is going to be performed. So whatever we call the predefined functions as examples. Now let us discuss about two predefined functions in this class. Let us see about the print function and type function. Why do we use the print function and type function? So these two are the pre-declared or inbuilt or predefined functions which is already defined or declared because it is used repeated tasks or in a repeated way. So many of the developers or coders or programmers actually used these many functions repeatedly or recurringly. So instead of writing this way, they have actually predefined and given to the Python, so we can able to just call and run this block of code and perform our task or particular task. So what is meant by print function and what is the usage of it? So whenever we use this print function in the output, we are going to display, we are going to the output. And what is the use of type function? Type function is generally used to check the type of the value or the data type it is. So print is nothing but it is used to display the output, and it is used to check the type of value or a variable. Discussed about the values and data types. So we have seen what is meant by the operation and what is meant by the assignment operator and functions and its predefined types of two types of print and type function we have seen in the predefined functions. So now let us discuss about the values and data types. In the previous class, we have seen that what is meant by a variable. Variable is nothing but a container. So now let us discuss some recap about the variable. A quick recap of variable. What does a variable actually does is it actually stores the value in a variable. It is like a container which is used to store the data or any information in the memory. So now what is meant by value? Value is any kind of the data or any kind of the information we store in a variable. So now let us see. Take an example of A as a variable and U here as a value. This is a syntax actually. Sorry, this is an actually syntax. Let us take A as a variable and here as a value. So whenever you use this syntax, here the value, what is meant by value? Value is a data or the any kind of the information which has any certain data type. So whenever you use this value gets stored in the variable by using the assignment operator. So by using the assignment operator, you can able to store the value in a variable. So this is called what is meant by value. Value is used to store in a variable where the value can be changed from line to line, or it can be mutable or immutable based on the data type it is. So what is meant by data types? Let us see now. Let us see what is meant by data types. So we have discussed as any value has a kind of data it is. So what is the type of the value? We can check by using the data types. What is the value or what kind of the data it is or what kind of the information it is, we can check by using the data type. So any value is having a certain data type, it is stored in a variable by using the assignment operator. So now let us see what is the different kinds of data types we have. Integer data type, float data type, boolean or bool data type, and string data type. So now let us discuss about these four kinds of data types, and we are going to see other data types in the upcoming classes. So for now, let us see about these four kinds of data. So first one, what is meant by integer data type? Integer data type is nothing but a whole numbers, just as which has the negative numbers 0 and the positive numbers without any fractional value, or the decimal point or decimal value is called as an integer. So what is meant by integer? Which has the negative values or negative integers 0 and positive integers is called as an integer. So now let us see an example. What are actually called as integers? -1, -2, -3 up to so on, 0, 1, 2, 3 and up to so on. We call all these integers or all these numbers or whole numbers is called as an integer data type. So now let us take a variable and store an integer data type. I have took a variable as a and assigning a positive value 1 by using the assignment operator in a variable a. What I have done here is I took a positive integer 1 and by using the assignment operator I have stored this one value in the variable a. This is how we actually store the value in a variable, and this is of integer data type. So you can store any kind of integer here as a value, such as you can also put here 0 or -1, -2, -3 as your wish. You can take any whole number and give here and assign to a variable, and it becomes an integer data type which stores in a variable. So now let us see. So I have took a variable a and I have stored some value as 2 and I am going to print it. Now let us see what happens when you print by using the print function and even in between the round braces. So when you run this code, what the output is, in the display you get the output as 2. You get the output as 2 when you run this code, because why the print function is used to display the output. So what is the variable in a? It is stored. The a shows the value as a 2 as an integer data type. So when you print this and you get the output as 2, and when you run this code as, let us take another variable b equals to type of a. Now let us check what is the type of a variable, or what is the type of variable the a shows. Now when you print or when you run this code, what happens? When you print, what happens? It goes to the b variable. And what is here? Type of a. What is meant by type function? Type function is used to check the type of data it is. Type function is used to check the type of the data it is. So when you run this code, in the output you get as class int. When you run this code, you get the output as class int. Why? Because we have stored 2 in the variable a and we have print a variable, and you get the output as 2. And when you run this code, and b stores the type of a, and it is actually integer data type. So when you run this code and you are going to print the type of B, so you get the output as class of int. So this is how the integer data type works, or you can store the integer data type in a variable and check the type of data. So now let's see about the float data type. Float data type. Float data type is nothing but it is also an integer but which has the decimal point and the decimal value. So integer values doesn't have any decimal point or any decimal value, but the float data type has a decimal point and also a fractional value. What is meant by float? Which has a integer value, a decimal point and a fractional part is called as a float, fractional part. So now let us take an example. Integer value as 1 point. I am using as 2, 3, 4 as a fractional part. So this is called as a float. In the same way, you can use any type of float by using the decimal point here and the fractional part here. Without the fractional point or without the decimal point, it becomes an integer. So let us see 987.654. Whenever you remove the decimal point, it becomes actually an integer. So you must remember that a float must have a decimal point. So it becomes a float data type. So now let us store the float data type and print and check the type of data, what happens in the result. Example code. Now let us take z as a variable and I am storing a variable of float data type 9.876. So I am going to print this z value. So you get output as 9.876 when you run this code. When you run this code, the value 9.876 which is stored in the z variable is going to be displayed in the output. So now let us check what is the type of data it is by using the type function. Whenever you use the type function, you can check what the data, the type it is. So now let us check what type of the data it is storing, the z variable. So whenever you use like this, what happens is it goes to this statement or this line and goes to here and checks what is the type of z. So what is the type of z? It is storing z is storing the float value. So it prints the float value. Actually z is storing the float value. So now it prints the float. So in the output when you run this code, you get as class float. This is how you get when you print the type, when you print the variable of float data type and when you print the type of the data it is going to get in this way. The third data type is bool or boolean data type. Bool or boolean data type is nothing but which has the two possible values, either true or false. It is called as a float data type. When you have the value as either a true or false, then it is called as a boolean data type. Only these two values are considered as a boolean values, true or false. When you observe here, the T is capital in true and F is capital in the false. So this is how you represent the boolean data type. So now let us store the boolean data type and print it and check the type of the variable it is. or variable or the data type it is. I have taken A and stored false as a value, and I am going to print it and check the type of data it is. Print of A, and also I am going to check the type of data it is. Type of A. So when you run this code, in the output you get as false in the display. And when this statement is printed, you get the output as class str, not string, class bool. Why? Because it is a boolean data type. False is a boolean data type, so you get class bool as an output when you run this code. In a similar way, when you give here true instead of false, you get true here, and also boolean data type, because the true is also considered as a boolean data type. So now let us see about the string data type. String data type. What is meant by string? It is actually it is nothing but a data type which stores the stream of characters as enclosed in between the quotes. Let us see now. The classic definition of string is nothing but a stream of characters enclosed in quotes. Stream is nothing but one or more characters or which is grouped. The one or more characters which is grouped is nothing but a stream. And what is meant by characters? Characters are of different types. Let us see now. Uppercase, lowercase, digits, underscore, and special characters such as the rate, greater than, less than, equals to, and so on. All these characters comes under the special characters. And what is meant by uppercase letters? We already know that uppercase letters is nothing but the capital letters such as capital A, capital B, up to so on, Z. And small letters is nothing but lowercase letters up to so on, Z. And digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, up to so on 9. Underscore is declared as this way. So all this is called as a characters. So when all these characters are, any of these characters is enclosed in quotes, is called as a string. So what is meant by quotes here? Quotes are 4 different types in Python. Now let us see. This is called as a single quotes. And when you use double quotes, this is called as a double quotes. This is nothing but the triple quotes. And this is called as a triple double quotes. When you observe here, single quotes, this is called as a single quotes. When you have 2 quotes, this is called as a double quotes. And 3 quotes is called as a triple quotes. And when you have a group of 3 double quotes is called as a double triple quotes. So whenever you use these characters in any of these places inside the quotes is called as a characters, is called as a strings. So now let us see the examples. Example. So when you store a string in double quotes hello, in this way you store a string in between the single quotes. Now let us see in the double quotes in the same way. Word. You can also mix up the characters of integers, special characters, underscore, and also space. The space is also considered as string data type when enclosed in a quotes, either are single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes, or double triple quotes. Then it is called as a string data types. The space here also considered as a string data types. And now, when we actually use the single quotes and double quotes is only when you want to use a string in a single line, you use the single quotes or a double quotes. But whenever you want to use a string more than one line, then you can able to use the triple quotes or double triple quotes. So this is how you can declare or assign the value of string data type to a variable by using the triple quotes. As this is multi-line. So now let us store by using the triple double quotes. This is also multi-line. You can use any character such as digits 2, 3, 4 letters, and also underscore, at the rate, and greater than, less than. All these characters. I also provided some space, and now let us give the quotes. So this is how you can able to store a string more than one line. You have stored in a single line, and you have stored this word and this string in a single line, but you have stored this is multiplying string in 2 lines, and this is a also multi-line, and this string is stored in 4 lines. By using this either a triple quotes or double triple quotes, you can actually store the same data type in multiple lines, and you can store a single line string in either a single quotes or double quotes. So now I want to print the string data type in the display. So how to print the string data type? It's the similar way we have printed integer, boolean, and other float data type. Same as this way, print of A or print of B, and I want to check the type of data actually these two are by using the type function, which is used to check the data type. So what actually happens when you run this code? When this line is executed, you get the output as hello, and this string is printed when you run this code. And what happens when you run this code and put here as A? What is actually A storing? Some characters is stored in a single quotes, so it is of string data type, and you get output as class string. str is called as a string. When you run this code, you get the output as class string. So in a similar way, what happens when you run this code also? Let us take, I have put b here, b variable here, but it is also a string data type. Why? Because a string of characters enclosed in the double quotes, and when you check the type of data it is, you get the class string as an output in the display. So this is how you can check the data types of variable types: integer, float, boolean, and string data types. So now let us once briefly or recap the whatever we have discussed in this class. What is meant by operation? Operation is nothing but it is a combination of the operator and operand to perform a value or calculate or do some operation. We use this operation by operand and operator. What is meant by assignment operator? Assignment operator is used to store the values in a variable by assigning the values to a variable. What is meant by functions? Functions is a block of code which is used to do for a particular task by calling it. We have also seen two different types of functions such as print data type, print function and type function. Print function is used to print the output in the display and type function is used to check the type of data which we have actually stored in a variable or the type of data it is. And values. Values is nothing but which is used to store in the variable. The values can be changed in a variable. And what is meant by data types? Data types are a values which data types is a values which is of specific data type. Each value is of specific data type. Either it is integer, float, bool or string or other data types such as list, set, tuple, string and dictionary. So what is meant by integers? Integers is when you take the positive values 0 and the negative values. And what is meant by float? When you give the integer in a decimal point and give the fractional part, it is called as a float. What is meant by boolean part? Boolean data type. When you take the true or false is called as a boolean data type. And strings which are enclosed in double quotes or single quotes or triple double quotes or double triple quotes. Characters are nothing but either a uppercase letters, lowercase letters, digits or underscore, space or any special other characters like such as at the rate, symbol and greater than symbol, less than symbol, etc. All these comes under the characters. When you store these characters in either a single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes or double triple quotes, it is called as a string data types. Thanks for watching.